The allusion Sisyphean task comes from Sisyphus, the king of Ephria. He is known as the craftiest and sneakiest of all men, and he is also ruthless. He invites visitors to his kingdom, then murders them. He even planned to kill his own brother. His story tells that he angers a god one way or another and ends up in the underworld. Hades gives him the punishment of rolling a huge boulder up a hill, but when it gets close to the top, it rolls back down and he has to start all over. When someone says something is a Sisyphean task, it means it is long and pointless. Even the blog Task uses this allusion to help people get over their tasks that seem to be meaningless. The allusion, a face that launched 1,000 ships, comes from the Trojan War. The youngest son of the Trojan king was asked by Paris to choose who was more beautiful, Athena, Hera, or Aphrodite. He chose Aphrodite because she promised him the most beautiful girl in the world, Helen of Troy. Helen is already married, but she goes with Paris to be with the king's youngest son. Soon after that, the Greeks invade Troy with 1,000 ships to get Helen back. When someone says that someone else has a face that launched 1,000 ships, it symbolizes unsurpassed beauty, the kind of beauty that makes guys go crazy. This phrase was used in songs and poems to express how beautiful someone is. The allusion Cupid's arrow comes from the Roman god Cupid, who was a young boy with wings and a bow and arrow. Cupid would always make a couple fall in love with each other. He would shoot an arrow from his bow, and when someone was hit, they started catching feelings for a specific person. When someone calls you Cupid, it means that they're calling you a matchmaker. When someone says that you got hit with Cupid's arrow, it means you fell in love with someone or that you have a big crush. An example of this allusion would be telling your friend that they got hit by Cupid's arrow when they like someone. The allusion Nike comes from the Greek goddess Nike. She was the goddess of strength, speed, and mostly known for victory. The ancient Greeks worshipped Nike because they believed she could make them immortal. They also believed that she could give them all the strength and speed they needed to be victorious in any task they were challenged to. The company Nike is an allusion to this Greek goddess. It tries to show that buying Nike products will give you strength and speed to make you successful. Even the Nike swoosh represents the goddess Nike's wings. The allusion Titanic comes from Greek mythology. In Greek mythology, there were a race of powerful deities called Titans. These Titans proceeded to the Olympians. They were also giants, which is why something very large or massive is referred to as something titanic. For example, the ship Titanic was named after the Greek Titans because the ship was huge and it was said to be unsinkable. The allusion Nemesis comes from the Greek goddess Nemesis. Nemesis was the goddess of revenge and retribution, or the punishment for someone as revenge for something they did wrong. Nemesis would punish the people with no hesitation, like someone who did something wrong, such as annoying the gods. This allusion is now used to show someone you want revenge on, or even a challenger person that you can't defeat. It would be like two people who didn't like each other calling themselves arch nemesis. The allusion Gordian knot comes from Gordius, the Greek king. He tied a super complex knot, and an oracle prophesied that whoever could untie that knot would be the new king and rule all of Asia. Later on, someone named Alexander the Great untied the knot by cutting through it with his sword. It was a very simple solution. Nowadays, when someone says something is a Gordian knot, it means a very complicated problem. If someone says they are cutting the Gordian knot, then they are solving a complex problem with an easy and simple solution. People have even used this allusion in famous quotes.